Good afternoon, and welcome to the American Museum of Natural History and the Milstein Hall of Ocean Life, home of the iconic blue whale, now sporting a 6-by-2-foot Band-Aid as only the Earth's largest living creature could. Dare I say that the Band-Aid is significantly taller than I, though definitely not as tall as our mayor, who will be my pleasure to present in a few moments. I'm Ellen Futter, president of the American Museum of Natural History, and I speak for all of my colleagues here at the museum when I say that we are immensely proud to participate in this crucial, life-saving effort. As president of this museum, an institution dedicated to fostering scientific research, knowledge, and understanding, and to providing public access to that information, I cannot think of a more important manifestation of our mission in action. Throughout our more than 150-year history, the museum has had a particular focus on bringing the most important scientific of the issues of the day, many of them concerning human health, to the public through exhibitions, public programs based on current scientific research, ours and others. A particularly resonant example is the 1908 tuberculosis epidemic, when New Yorkers lined up to see an exhibition that addressed that horrendous disease which claimed so many lives. I know that images of this COVID-19 vaccination effort will hold the same place in our hearts and minds and history as we move into the future, and importantly, our city increasingly opens up. As we go forward this year and into the future, we will continue to do important work of educating citizens about COVID-19, other viruses, their transmission, and the science behind vaccines. And we greatly appreciate the Milstein family being the lead education sponsor of that work. And in that spirit of access and education, I encourage everyone to tell all eligible unvaccinated New Yorkers that they are welcome to come here for their vaccination. And everyone who is vaccinated here will receive a voucher for up to 4 people to return for a future visit, and we will be so happy to welcome them back. We are particularly pleased to be partnering with NYCHA and DC 37, and we are honored to have Henry Garrido, Executive Director of District 37 here, and the Commissioner of the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, Dr. Dave Chokshi, with us today. And I also want to recognize Congressman Jerry Nadler, Borough President Gail Brewer, Council Member Helen Rosenthal, Deputy Mayor Vicki Bean, and Sheila Feinberg from DCLA. And of course, my colleague, Dr. Neil Tyson, who is the Frederick P. Rose Director of the Hayden Planetarium, also for joining us today. No one today has done more to bring science into mainstream visibility than Neil. And now, it is my very great pleasure to turn the program over to Mayor de Blasio. In doing so, I want to say thank you, Mayor, for your leadership through this challenge, and also for all that you have done to support this museum before and during the pandemic. Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Ellen, I am removing the additional height. There's going to be a lot of height references today with the whale and the Band-Aid and everything. But Ellen, I am so appreciative to you. You've been an absolutely amazing partner to the city in so many ways. And you have, in my view, a people's sense of this museum. You think of this as a place for everyday people. You have done so much to open it up to all the people in New York City. This is one of the indispensable places in this entire city, and that's saying a lot, because a city full of magical places, magical experiences. This is one of the must-dos. But you've made it a place for everyone, and I really want to honor you and your whole team for that. Also, Ellen, where the heck did you find that Band-Aid? That is not available in stores. Okay, I just want to say. Yeah, is there like, you could go look in the pharmacy for a long time and you will not find that Band-Aid, but I'm glad you found it for this whale. The whale needed it. I keep wanting to see the syringe, but no one will show it to me. But this is amazing that we have the museum as a full, energetic, passionate partner in this effort. Now, I talked to a lot of the folks who had gotten vaccinated, and they all said this is a remarkable place, a memorable place. Literally people saying, I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. And someone said that they read about it in the papers, and the minute they saw it, they said, I'm going there to get vaccinated. They had been thinking about getting vaccinated. They really hadn't gotten around to it. The second they saw you could get vaccinated beneath the blue whale, they said, I'm going to do that. I'm dropping everything. I'm going to get vaccinated. And I think you're going to see a lot of people excited to be vaccinated here, because it literally will be a life memory and a beautiful, positive memory as we overcome COVID and we bring this city back. Now, everyone here, Henry, thank you to your colleagues, all the people in the union who make this place work. Everyone here has contributed to this environment. The folks here, the vaccinators, they're doing this because they really care, they really believe in it. And they know this is going to be a special experience for folks. But I want to go and say the museum then went the extra mile. I need everyone to include this in your reporting, please. You get vaccinated, you get a voucher for 4 general admissions for free to this museum. So that is the kind of offer, the kind of opportunity I think is going to cause a lot of people to want to come here, get vaccinated, be safe for themselves, for their family, for their city. Very generous that the museum's doing this, and it's going to make a big difference. So you want to come to the museum, you want to bring family, you want to bring friends who are visiting, here's your chance. Come get vaccinated for free general admissions once you do. I want to thank the elected officials who all have been incredibly supportive as we've been fighting back against COVID. I said to Congressman Jerry Nadler, so much of what we're able to do now is because the Congress was there with the most amazing stimulus in American history. Congressman Nadler, you're one of the most important members of the House of Representatives. Thank you, you and your colleagues, and Speaker Pelosi, for all you've done. I want to thank the borough president, who, as everyone knows, is omnipresent and has been out there making sure people get the help and support they need during this crisis. Thank you, Borough President Gail Brewer. And Councilmember Helen Rosenthal joined me this morning in our press conference. Thank you, especially because you've been supporting our nonprofits. We just announced a lot of funding to help community-based nonprofits that have been in the lead protecting people during this crisis. Let's thank the council member for that. So everyone, this is historic by every measure. We've never had a crisis like this, but we've also never had amazing solutions like this. We've never had things like this where people created something we couldn't have imagined in our lives. And it's exciting because it's just that incredible New York spirit. No matter what's thrown at us, we're going to find a way to fight back. And we're going to find out a way to do something smart and creative and exciting and vibrant. That's what we do in this city. That's what you see right behind me now. It's amazing looking down. All these people helping their fellow New Yorkers. And I want everyone to know, when you come here, you will have a great experience. You will have a memorable experience. You will have a whale of a time. Whale of a time. That was good, Jeff, wasn't it? Whale of a time. That was today's contribution. Yeah, okay. Henry's not laughing at all. Okay. I would now like to welcome to the stage. No, I'm not doing these anymore. I'm not doing these. We're better than that. Alan spoke about the work of Neil deGrasse Tyson. And I want to say, Neil, you've been laboring in the vineyards for years and years, helping Americans to think about science, care about science, understand it, make it accessible. I don't think you possibly could have imagined how important your work was until the pandemic came along and we saw this nationwide discussion of whether we were going to make decisions based on science or something else. And every day, and I want to thank Dr. Dave Choksi, because every day we talk about the decisions we have to make, and we start with data. Imagine that. We start with data, we start with science, and that's what we're led by. And you've helped this whole country to realize that power. And I think one of the good things that will come out of this crisis, I hope, is a new appreciation for a devotion to fact and a devotion to science. And you've been one of the leaders for years and years. My great pleasure to introduce Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm the Frederick P. Rose Director of the Hayden Planetarium here. And I go way back with this institution, having first come here as a child. In fact, the Hayden Planetarium was my first night sky. So I, as did any other New Yorker who visited here, didn't think of this solely as a museum, just some weekend destination. It was a part of the city's family, really. It was always in your thoughts, in your memories, in your future destinations. And I will never forget the attention and energy given to me and my family by museum staff, educators, scientists in the most formative years of my life. And now, as director of the very planetarium that got me interested in the museum, I and all of my colleagues here, when we see a next generation coming up, we carry this duty, this responsibility to ensure that every next generation can be as touched by the educational and scientific expertise in modern times as we were back then. Now, when I think of COVID, I said, think back a year ago. Join me in my brain for a moment. A year ago, I'm thinking to myself, COVID, it's a pandemic. It is a virus that doesn't care what your skin color is or what side of a line in the sand you live on. It will infect you just for being human. And I thought, this is a dry run for an alien invasion. Yeah, the aliens come and they want to take out all humans. Will we band together, putting aside our tribal ways that have so divided us over these recent years, and come together and fight this common enemy? And I was very disappointed by what I saw. And now I look at what we are doing here as a city. We're all coming together. You're the press because you're a mouthpiece for this. We've got New Yorkers, nurses, medical assistants, doctors, museum staff, everybody participating. No one's asking how they can argue with you. No one is saying, should I trust science? Without people realizing, they're thinking, should I trust science? While they're on their smartphone, they're wondering if they should trust science, an object that uses 1,000 unique inventions from engineering, math, physics, and astrophysics with its access to satellites. So for me, this is an example of what the nation and the world should have been doing from the very beginning. And I'm delighted to say that I am now part of an institution that may very well set an example for any future occasion that this country faces, where we actually have to get together and pool our energies, our resources, our intellect to fight a common enemy as we are doing now. Thank you for this.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay.
Neil, there you go. Thank you so much. That was powerful. And you're exactly right. That's what's happening here. And it's happening because of the incredible efforts of the people who do the work every day in this museum and want to help their fellow New Yorker. And it's also happening because we believe we've got to protect working people, the folks we depend on. Henry Garrido has said from the beginning to his members that we need to be there for them and that they need to get vaccinated for their families and for each other. And that kind of leadership helps, because when people hear from the trusted voices in their lives, that's what moves them to get vaccinated more than anything else. And we've learned this, Dr. Choksi and I have really pored over this question. What motivates people? The number one thing that motivates people to get vaccinated is the trusted voices in their lives. And so it's really important that the leader of the largest municipal union has set such a great example, encouraging his members and making it easier for them to get vaccinated, and they're playing such a crucial role right here. My pleasure to introduce Executive Director, DC 37 AFSCME, Henry Garrido.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good afternoon to all of you. Let me just start by thanking the Mayor, Helen, and all the elected officials that are here that have made this possible. And I just want to set the record straight that the Band-Aid on the whale was as a result of the second shot that we provided, and that it was administered, the Band-Aid, not the shot, by one of our members who's here. If Helene, where are you? Could you come up here, please? Yes, her as well as Ruth from our members are representing the many DC 37 members who work here. There you go. Let's thank her for the work. Now, I want you to know something, that even as the museums were closed, she was here every single day since April, making sure that the exhibits and the pieces are curated, as so many of our members who are here. Oh, okay. You want to introduce yourself?
Oh.
Go ahead, Celeste.
My name is Celeste Carballo, and I'm an exhibition preparator here at the museum.
Ruth? Thank you, Celeste.
My name is Ruth Salas, and I am a museum specialist in vertebrate zoology.
Thank you both, and thank you to the many DC 37ers who are here, providing security, maintenance, training, organizing, and education to the many New Yorkers. As of today, 34% of city workers have been vaccinated. Thank you to the partnership with the mayor's office. We would like to see that more closer to 60%. We do that because we would like to protect the lives as New Yorkers come back more and more to whatever normalcy will be in the new reality that we live in. But I want to take a moment to thank, above all, the members of DC 37, the workers who have been deemed essential, who have been now being called heroes. You know, if there's something, a positive bright light, if you can take one from this pandemic, is that those workers who were essential from day one, before the pandemic was here, that were heroes before that the pandemic was here, were finally recognized for the work that they do every single day. More than 200 of those DC 37 members pay the ultimate sacrifice with their lives. They passed away with COVID by providing services to New Yorkers when everybody was scared and staying home, and we owe them a debt of gratitude. We owe them to fight for those who are still here, and we want to protect those who are there. On behalf of them, on behalf of the 150,000 DC 37 workers that provide everyday service to New Yorkers, we want to thank the mayor. We want to thank everyone for the protection that's here. I would say this. I'll end with this. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, you could curse the darkness or you could light a match. In our case, we're lighting a match with this center under the whale. Thank you very much on behalf of DC 37. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Well, we'll conclude with this point, everyone. This is a walk-in site. So any New Yorker who is not yet vaccinated, wants to experience the magic of getting vaccinated beneath the blue whale and have a lifetime memory, come right over here now. It is walk up. You will get vaccinated. You will be safe, and you'll be a part of history. Thank you, everybody.